Hey guys, Giggity back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the main slate for the MLB starting at 7:05 p.m. on July 29th, 2020. And this one is I want to say it's 11 games? 9 games. Does that include any? I think it's actually legit 9 games. It's not 9 and then games canceled. So 9 game slate. So that's pretty nice. Go ahead and break it down for you. Before I jump into it, go ahead, check out tilteddfs.com. They have a lot of good articles and stuff over there, so go ahead and check them out. They have high quality free articles in CSGO, MLB, NBA, NFL, PGA, UFC, and NHL. So you should want to try to get into that. It's all free, so go ahead and check out Tilted DFS. Links in the description below. Before we jump into the video, we're going to go ahead and check out last night's contest. It was a little bit of a rough one for me. I had some empty spots in Perez. I wanted to try to get to some Houston players because I figured that might be a decent leverage spot. They both scored Zippo, so that really did not work out well for me. And the athletic stack was just a little bit underwhelming last night, and it ultimately didn't push me to the top. But last night was a weird one. The winning lineup only had 160 points. He had Zach Davies and Kelly, which, okay. Then he had Kevin Plawecki at 3.1% owned, 2,300, 13 points for him against his former team in the Mets. He had Max Muncy, who only got 4. He got Hura, who got 20. Turner, 7. Polanco with 19. Peralta with 7. Davis with 23. And Merrifield with 18 points. This is a weird lineup. He's got a 2-stack from LA and he just did a 2-stack and a bunch of one-offs. That is interesting. He just threw dart throws and happened to get them. Good job to him, 100K, and I would never have gone to this lineup in a million years because there's no correlation between anybody. But we'll go ahead and jump into the actual video. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And we'll start off with the Milwaukee and Pittsburgh game. You got Musgrove pitching for Pittsburgh today at $5,300. Milwaukee's pitcher is Woodruff at $8,100. Both these pitchers are okay. Real quick, we actually have good pitching today, and I'm so excited because we don't have to freaking guess anymore. There's a bunch of expensive options, but there's a bunch of really good options for pitching today. So go ahead, jump into this one. Milwaukee bats. Musgrove strikes out about 22% of his batters, and at $5,300, if you think he can go 5 innings, that would probably pay off his price tag and be a halfway decent play. And you could possibly put Musgrove at $5,300 and pair him up with a Jacob deGrom or Garrett Cole, because deGrom is sitting at $12,000 and Garrett Cole is sitting at $11,400. Both really good options, but we'll get into those later on. But Musgrove could be a good one to pair with those two. If you feel like Pittsburgh's going to play good today. On the contrary, the Milwaukee hitters, if you're going to get to any, I like Yelich, Hiria, Smock, maybe getting to Navarro, just because a good catcher spot maybe, but not really going too much towards Milwaukee. I think I would prefer the Pittsburgh side in this one. Except for Woodruff is a good pitcher, strikes out 29.1% of his batters. Pittsburgh should be pretty low owned tonight, so getting to a stack with like Frazier, Newman, Bell, Moran, and Reynolds might be a good option. I feel like they're going to be all less than 5% owned. Obviously, ownerships aren't really out yet, so I really can't look at that. But they're all probably going to be around 5% or less. And Ozuna as well, if you wanted to do a 2 through 6 stack, could be a decent option as well. Woodruff is a halfway decent option for pitching at 8,100. Not really sure if I want to get to him just because I want to probably get to a value pitcher and then a high scale pitcher, but we'll see where it goes. And we'll move on to the next. We'll move on to the next one, which is the Atlanta Braves and the Tampa Bay Rays. You got Charlie Morton going for the Tampa Bay Rays at $10,800, and Mike Soroka on the Atlanta Braves side sitting at $9,500. And I feel like I want to get more towards the offense on this game. Just because Morton and Soroka are the third and fourth most expensive pitchers on the slate. And I might try to fade them just to try to gain a little bit of leverage on the field. Morton strikes out about 30% of his batters, so I'm all right with going there just a little bit. But I'm not getting anything crazy with Morton. And if I fight the chalk and lose, whatever. Acuna, Albies, Freeman, Ozuna, and Adams. I really like going after those five. Braves might be like my primary stack today, just because I can possibly gain leverage on the field. I feel like the Atlanta players are not going to be more than, say, 9-10% owned each. Maybe Acuna might be up higher, but all the rest of them should not be up that high going up against Morton. So possibly some leverage spots for Atlanta on the field, on the slate. Tampa Bay side, another one that I might try to aim for the hitting on this side as well, just because Soroka is, he doesn't strike out that many headers, but he is a good pitcher and he will get outs. His ground ball rate is 52%, meaning double plays. But if I can get some Choi, Lowe, Diaz, Tetsugo, and Renfroe, and try to leverage the field on people who try to play Soroka, I feel like that could be a pretty decent option to go to. And just getting to players that might not be. I feel like the Tampa Bay Rays hitters are not going to be too high owned at all with some of the other games on the slate, which might have a little bit higher projections for scoring. Therefore, I do like going after Tampa Bay as well in this slate. On to the Boston Red Sox in Citi Field against the New York Mets. And here's where you're going to get your first big pitcher of the day, Jacob deGrom. And yes, I'm going to be trying my hardest to get to Jacob deGrom today. He is $12,000, which is the most expensive I've seen a pitcher all year. He will be going up against Nathan Eovaldi, sitting at $6,800. I do not see myself getting to Boston hitters. Jacob deGrom is just way too good, and I'm not really interested in going after anybody who's going after a back-to-back Cy Young winning season. If you wanted to get to Boston for leverage, as weird as that sounds, Boston could be low owned today against Jacob deGrom. But I'm not really interested in the Boston side at all. I'd rather be interested in the Mets hitting as well, going McNeil, Alonso, Conforto, Cespedes, and Nimmo up top if I can get to him. Nathan Eovaldi is not like the best of pitchers. He strikes out 23%. I feel confident stacking the Mets again today, going up against Nathan Eovaldi and the Boston Red Sox. All these Confortos could have a good game. Alonso could have a good game. McNeil could have a good game. Cespedes. and I wouldn't bat an eye. And Mets should be able to win this game quite nicely. So going after Jacob deGrom and some Mets stacks is going to be a decent way for me to go today. Moving on to the Kansas City and Detroit game. Detroit actually has a halfway decent pitcher in Matthew Boyd at 9K, and then the Kansas City Royals have Danny Duffy going at 7,100. By the way, if I look over here, it's because I have this slide over here, and it shows all the pitchers' prices so that I'm able to know them right off the bat. So, no, I'm not going after Daniel Duffy at all today. And it's just, he's probably going to get some outs, but he doesn't strike out many. Sorry. He doesn't strike out many batters. I don't feel like I need to get to him. And on the other side, I don't feel like I'm going to get too many Detroit hitters. It's just not a good game to go after. If anything, I might look towards the other side. If I'm running 150, get to a little bit of Matthew Boyd. He strikes out about 30% of his batters, but I'm just not really too interested in going after a Detroit pitcher. It's not very appealing to me and not really interested in it. Going after a little bit of Kansas City hitters, mostly just Merrifield and Soler. Not really interested in anything else in this game, so just picking those guys up as one-offs is going to be the way to go for me, mostly avoiding this game. Let's go to the Dodgers in Houston in a Minute Maid Park. Going, and for the pitching matchup in this one, you got Dustin May, aka Ginger Guard, going at $7,300, and Houston's going to go throw out Javier, Christian Javier at $6,600. Bats, and more bats for this one. If you're going to get to it, I'm good with going to Muncy, Betts, Bellinger, Turner, Seager, all the way even down to Taylor and Pedersen. I have no problem getting to even the 7-hitter in this one. The Dodger bats just look really, really good today, going up against Houston, who's running out a $6,600 pitcher. So going after Dodger bats is going to be very, very it's going to be a good idea. Javier has no stats in. He's making his first start, so I'm all right with not going after that Houston pitcher and going after a bunch of Dodger bats. On the Houston side, I'm good with going up again and good with getting Houston bats as well. Going from 1 to 6, Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Brantley, Gurriel, and Correa. Perfectly okay with getting to even a game stack of this one, if you can afford it. If you go to a game stack, you're probably not going to be able to get DeGrom or Garrett Cole in your lineup, so pick your poison, whether or not you want to get some Houston bats and LA bats, or if you want to get to Jacob deGrom or Garrett Cole today. I'm not really getting to Ginger Guard. He's just a tad expensive. Well, $7,300 is not terrible. I'm just not getting to him going up against a stacked Houston lineup. Now, we spoke about Garrett Cole. I feel like he's probably in the best position of the night, which means I think he's going to be the highest owned pitcher. Garrett Cole at $11,400 is going to be going up against Asher Wojcicki. Wow, I totally botched that. At $5,800. Can we get to the Yankee game? Garrett Cole is in a really, really good spot today against a Baltimore Orioles team that I don't want to get to at all. Garrett Cole strikes out about 40% of his batters that he faces. Wow. Yeah, I am interested in getting to Garrett Cole. If I can find a way to get Garrett Cole and Jacob deGrom on my team, I'm going to try to. But I have a feeling that Garrett Cole is going to be a little bit of a better option going up against Baltimore rather than deGrom going up against the Boston Red Sox. So, Garrett Cole, try to get him into your lineup if you can. And I'm not going after any Oriole bats. Not really interested in that at all. Yankee bats. You could. I'm just going to call him AW. AW strikes out about 22% of his batters. I would be all right with getting to the Yankee bats if they're not too expensive. Or if you can afford Yankee bats, they're fine. I feel like there's better options on the slate. Yes, they're going up against Baltimore, but there are some teams running out not as good pitchers, and I feel like the Yankees are going to be pretty high owned, so going elsewhere might be a halfway decent idea. If you were to get it, Judge, Torres, Stanton, Hicks, and then Gary Sanchez maybe as a one-off as your catchers, a halfway decent option here. So all Yankees, no Baltimore for me. Even in leverage, I'm not a fan of Baltimore. Moving on to the next one. I don't even know what I clicked, which is St. Louis and Minnesota. For this matchup, you will get Rich Hill for Minnesota at 7,200 versus Ponce de Leon from St. Louis at 7,500. And for this one, I'd rather get to bats than get to pitching. Even though Hill does strike out about 30% of his batters, I'd rather go after St. Louis and Minnesota hitting. Edman, Goldschmidt, DeYoung, they shouldn't be super, super high owned just because their stats are not that good against left-handed pitchers. So going after it, I feel like St. Louis and Minnesota stacks are going to be pretty viable. Looking at the Minnesota players real quick. You're going to have you're going to have Ponce de Leon on the mound for St. Louis. Strikes out about 25% of his batters. And I'm going to get to a bunch of Twins today. Kepler, Donaldson, Polanco, Cruz, and Rosario, and Garver even. I love myself some Twins today. They should be a pretty solid stack to go after. So going after them is a halfway decent idea. Now on to the later slate for this. You got the Padres and the Giants. You got Paddock going for the Padres at $8,400. And you got Johnny Cueto at $6K. That could be pretty intriguing. But Paddock strikes out about 27% of his batters. If I were to get to, I think Paddock is good. I think he's going to go overlooked just because of all this talent above him. So maybe going after him might not be a terrible idea. But if you were to go after Giant bats, Yastrzemski, Sandoval, Dickerson, Pence, and Henneman are going to be the way to go. Definitely Henneman. Just going after some Giants bats maybe might be contrarian. I feel like they're not going to be super, super high owned just because the Giants are not that good. On the flip side, Johnny Cueto, I am not getting to him. Strikes out about 19.4% of batters. The only reason why you would even think about going to him is that he's $6K. But at that point, might as well go to Musgrove at $5,300. Tatis Grisham went out of the game early last night, so keep an eye on him. Machado, Pham, and Hosmer, and then even Will Myers going after him. I have no problem going towards some San Diego bats going up against Johnny Cueto just because of how bad Johnny Cueto is, how bad he is, and the Giants are in general. So maybe getting to that is not a bad idea. On to the last game of the day, which is the Seattle Mariners and the LA Dodgers. Angels, wow. Angels are throwing Henny on the mound at $7,900. Seattle is throwing Justin Dunn, making his starting, or at least his first MLB start at $4,500. And give me some Angels in this. Henny starts out about 29% of his batters. And considering that he's only $7,900 today, could be a nice option to go to for that. I'm not really getting to too much Seattle. If you want to get to some Seager as a one-off, sorry, I'm not really too interested in going there at all. Flipping it over to the LA Angels side, that's where you would want to go more too. Getting to some Chow, Ohtani, Rendon, Upton, and Lascella. Going up against Dunn, who, whoa, actually has stats. Okay, he has no stats this year. My bad. But strikes out 16.7%. Fly ball rate is 50%, so you could possibly see a lot of homers. So going after Angels is going to be a good play for this game. Not really going after that much Dunn, though. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know who you guys are playing in this 9-game slate. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below or on my Twitter or Discord. Links in the description below as well. Go ahead, check out Tilted DFS for free articles. And good luck to you guys today, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.